Today we'll talk about complex number. Our learning targets today is about I can represent a complex number in rectangular form and I can perform basic algebra with complex numbers. Right? So what is a complex number? Well, we start by defining this, the square root of -1 to be I. This is what we call an imaginary number. And complex number is any number that can be represented in this particular form, where x and y are real numbers. X and y are real. Okay? And so an example of a complex number could be something like this. 2 plus 3i. This is a complex number. I itself is a complex number. 2 also is a complex number because 2, you can think of it as 2 plus 0i. So that's a complex number. This number in front here, this x here, real part of the complex number is written with re real of z. And here, y here is called the imaginary part of the complex number. So imaginary of z. This particular form is called the rectangular form. It's also called the Cartesian form. So Cartesian or rectangular form. This is the real part of z. Here is the imaginary part of z. So we can write the real part of this, 3 plus 2i, is just going to be 3. The imaginary of 3 plus 2i is going to be 2. Similarly, I can do this. That is the real part of -7 plus I. Can you figure that out? Very good. -7. The imaginary part of -7 plus I. Yes, that is going to be just going to be 1. Okay, then addition. Z1 plus Z2. Well, this is actually very simple. We have 3 plus 2i. Basically, it's the real part adds to the real part. So in this case, I have 3 adds to -7 plus 2 adds to 1i. So in this case, it's -4 plus 3i. 3. And how about subtraction? Well, subtraction is going to be the same. The real parts subtract the real parts, and the imaginary parts subtract the imaginary parts. So in this case, we have 3 minus -7, and then plus here 2 minus 1i. So the answer to this is 3 minus 7 is going to minus 7 is going to be 10 plus I. So here's the answer. This particular symbol means conjugate. The conjugate of Z1 is going to be 1 minus 2i. Okay? And the conjugate of Z2 is this, -3 minus 4i. So what it means by conjugate is that you are, well, the imaginary part, the sign in the imaginary part switches the sign from positive to negative and then from negative to positive. So if I have, right, z here being 3 minus 4i instead, then the conjugate in this case will become 3 plus 4i. Let's try out these two questions by yourself. Once you're ready, press play again and then we'll check the answer. Very good. Welcome back. So the first one is Z1 plus Z1, so it's going to be 1 plus 2i plus 1 minus 2i. So you can see that the 2i and minus 2i cancel out and you're left with 2. So you only get the real in this case. Thank you for watching.